I just want it to be known that, like, I wasn't supposed to be in any videos today, so you see me out here in my athletic shorts, you know what I'm saying? And this wasn't supposed to happen today. I got the Crocs and the socks, I got the athletic shorts. I was supposed to be chilling at my desk, not being in videos, but here we are, talking about Chevy square wheel wells. Imagine this, it's 1972, life is great, you have your lifted Chevy C or K20, everyone stares at you when you drive by, pull in a local gas station or the diner, restaurant, whatever you might call it. Life's good. Life's peachy. And then boom, it's freaking not, man. Chevy comes out of nowhere in 1973 with a square body with square wheel wells. Square freaking wheel wells. Okay, maybe life still is good because, well, Chevy square body and because you didn't have to worry about, you know, the square wheel wells because huge show wheel and tire setups weren't a thing back then. I'm Lawson, you can find me at lawson.co on the gram. In today's video, we're going to be talking about none other than the notorious, often talked Chevy square wheel wells. In your Chevy square wheel wells or any other truck maker model, you guys already know where to find the goods at customhouses.com. Let's hop to it. From the 1918 Chevy 1-ton to the 1967 Chevy C or K10 series trucks, Chevy had always stuck with circle wheel wells. It just was kind of the norm back then. That's what was always done since the beginning of vehicle production, and it always worked, so why change it, Chevy? Then came the rounded line trucks, otherwise known as the square body. That's right, the notorious, most loved Chevy square body in 1973. Square body trucks were the third generation of Chevy and GMC C and K pickups, and the introduction of the square wheel wells were born. With the box-like shaped body and squared off panels, large new grille, and a wide stance, the square body would be the first GM trucks to be tested with computer simulations and wind tunnels. That's pretty freaking insane back then. There you go, square wheel wells for aerodynamics, decent. The square body may have had square wheel wells, but it was way before its time, and Ford and Dodge were years behind. I mean, the square body was trend-setting, not only for the competition, but also for the future to come. From luxury features to trim packages, power windows to power locks, tilt, cruise, stereo, flow-through ventilation with built-in air conditioning, insulation, and weather stripping. This all contributed to making these trucks a more affordable and pleasant ride for long days on the road, you know, at the farm or even job sites. Can you imagine back then working construction and then this popping up? Insane. I mean, come on, what wasn't to love with comfortability but still able to be a workhorse? I couldn't even imagine back in the day experiencing true air conditioning for the very first time in the summer or even cruise control. Freaking insane. Because of all this, plus parts availability from GM off the Chevy and GMC trucks, everyone absolutely loved these and really still do to this day. So although these trucks had square wheel wells and would be the body style to shape the future of square wheel well trucks, the square body was revolutionary. But why did they have square wheel wells? GM decided to go with a whole new body design when releasing the square body, as well with the launch of the C30, which was the first dual rear wheel truck in the industry to have a crew cab with seating for up to 6 people. Imagine these times back in the day. These were the glory days, bud. First dually? I mean, come on, how many dualies do you see all over the place on the road at shows? It's insane. Now, as time went on and GM released more and more trucks with reworked body styling, the square wheel wells would come and go, and by that I mean the styling was always just there, just with some slight touches depending on body lines and styling on the rest of the vehicle. For example, take a look at 1982 when GM released the all-new light utility vehicle, the Chevy S10. Square wheel wells? Nah, not really, but you can see some resemblance. Fast forward to 1988 and the GMT 400 platform was released, and boom, we're back to the square wheel wells, bud. Jump up to modern day Chevy trucks ranging from 1999 until present day, and you see nothing but square wheel wells, except 2019 happened. The new body style of the 19 Plus Silverados have gone back to a more rounded wheel well. Why? Well, over the past decade, the Silverado had a very boxy, strong, mean exterior look, and GM was ready for an updated, still aggressive look with the future styling. Now, one of the most noticeable changes with the 2019 Plus trucks is the notorious love-hate relationship with the square wheel wells. Now, the lead exterior designer of the 2019 Chevy Silverado, Rich Shear, stated when asked about why the square wheel wells were replaced with a more overarching circular wheel well, his answer was aerodynamics, according to the GM authority. Now, obviously it isn't just that simple, right? It's not just aerodynamics. Scheer mentioned how much more the 2019 body styling was aerodynamically efficient over the previous body styles, as well as stating that, well, square wheel wells were a hurtful or restricting design, probably due to such a love-hate relationship. With the new design style of the 2019 and up Chevy Silverado, the circular wheel wells weren't the only significant aerodynamic improvement to the new body style design. Now, Chevy introduced active grille shutters and weird fender and bumper vents for airflow through the vehicle to help your giant hunk of metal go down the road more efficiently. These significant changes are almost reminiscent of the 1970s when Chevy decided to go with these square wheel wells and now decided it worked better to move back to what had worked 50 years ago. With the design team chasing a more aerodynamic and lighter truck, the square wheel wells just didn't make the cut, and even now through 2021, we haven't seen a return and really don't know if we ever will, honestly. Now, throughout the years of the square wheel well era, enthusiasts like yourself and many, many others have run into fitting large wheel and tire setups onto their truck, even with a decent sized lift. I mean, come on, take my truck for example, 24 14s with some 37s, 9-inch lift, still need a full NorCal. Still need to chop the living heck out of my truck. Y'all new to the term NorCal? Well, it's when you take the back corner of your front wheel well and you take a pie cut out by cutting and bending and twisting and grinding and banging with a big hammer to get the pinch weld and change how the metal sits back there. This is to create a big pocket for you guys to turn your big old wheel and tire packages. This gives you more clearance for everyday turning and driving. Pretty neat, huh? If you want to know more about the old NorCal mod, you guys can find multiple videos about it on our YouTube channel. Now, once 2014 hit, GM trucks started coming from the factory with plastic caps that go over the back corner, which has started to make things very interesting when it comes to modifying that back corner. NorCal was all about modifying and manipulating the metal on those corners. Now you kind of got to modify and manipulate plastic corners. Take CO2 for example, 26 14s, 37, 6.5-inch lift, big truck, still needed a full NorCal mod, but instead of us doing it, we actually sent it off to a auto body shop for professionals to do it. Shout out Dreher Collision. And he actually had to make brand new caps that went on that back corner for CO2, because how are you gonna manipulate plastic and change it? Now, there are a lot of people out there right now who are selling modified caps, which I guess is another market that you can get into if you're into that sort of thing. So there's now modified caps that you guys can buy that you can just plop on and you guys don't have to modify your plastic. But speaking of CO2, I mean, Dreher Collision completely reworked and made their own fiberglass caps. It's pretty insane. I mean, overall, I'm pretty indifferent on the whole square wheel well love-hate relationship that everyone has. I mean, like I said, I have a 2011 Chevy Silverado 1500 with square wheel wells that aren't forgiving at all with my wheel and tire setup, even on 9 freaking inches of lift. Come on, GM. But hey, that's the game you play when you guys build a Chevy with square wheel wells. It just kind of is what it is. It's super cool to look back on the history of Chevy trucks and the square wheel wells and seeing kind of the styling and design throughout the last 100 or so years. So I know we've been doing a lot of these history videos for you guys. I know you guys have been digging them a lot. Definitely let us know in the comment section below if there's something that you guys want to see more of. And obviously, if you guys need to start your build, wheels, tires, suspension, performance, accessories, customoffsets.com. Even for you Ford guys or Ram guys, Dodge guys, Toyota guys. It's not just Chevy and Chevy wheel wells. Go check it out. Peace. Woo!